Geeta. Um, so let's get started. We've been talking about the subconscious mind. It's important to arm our intellect so that it can exercise its dominion over our mind. That is the topic we have been discussing. And as part of that, yesterday we spoke about how big our subconscious is, right? We said that it is 90% of our mind, while 10% is only the conscious part of it. And we spoke about the story that we are writing through that subconscious every moment of our life. Today, we will talk about how to arm it, and also we'll have a quick poll-based quiz, right, Rahul, today? After that, yeah, we'll
Yes.
do a few recap questions as well, and then we'll get into that topic. So again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Let me share my screen, and then we will get underway. Let's get started by invoking the blessings of God and Guru. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurudevo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanuramardanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Okay, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening again, all of you. So Rahul, let's post the questions today that you have prepared. And then we will get started by doing a quick recap and then the topic of our discussion today. So I think there are 5 questions we have prepared, right?
Yes, 5 questions. I just started sharing that on this
All
link.
right. So yeah, you will get an opportunity instead of recitation today, you get an opportunity to take a look at these questions and test out your knowledge. I'll give you time, and while we can talk about other things and possibly other stuff uh, that we've been talking about. Um, I can go through that, and then you get a chance to look at the questions and record in your responses. We'll have a quick discussion. And then any questions related to that before we get deeper into our topic of our subconscious today. So we still have participants joining in. You can take your time to read the questions and start recording. And I'll encourage every one of you to participate because it's not a Kahoot. So you don't have to worry. It's a self test for yourself. And do take an opportunity to look at the questions and put in your responses. So while we are waiting for people to record in their responses, I wanted to talk about a few things. I think we have, by the way, we have Narsingh Jayanti today, right? Lord Narsing's avatar happens. So happy Narsingh Jayanti to all of you. And it is said if you have fear and if you continue to worship Lord Narsingh, it can help you conquer that fear. And Lord Narsingh is a testimony to the Shakti of Bhakti, right? We all know about God being all pervading, but through the power of Bhakti, he can manifest himself, like it happened in case of Prahlad. So when people say that, uh, you know, how do we know God is present everywhere? We just need to go as far as this particular Leela where God actually manifested. Same thing, Hiranya Kashyap also asked Prahlad, where is God? He said everywhere. He said, is it there in this pillar also? He said, of course. Then he smashed the pillar and a nursing avatar took place. And these avatars are avatars which are called express avatars. They come and they go. They serve their purpose and then they go. And then we have avatars, Vishesha avatars like Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, who come and stay for a while. Okay, they come for a purpose, which we are going to talk about in our discussion next week when we talk about the concept of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. And in that discussion, we will talk about all the concepts related to Nirakar, Sakar, Omkar, and pretty much everything. Okay, what does it mean? We'll try to put it in perspective so that we understand it and not keep on getting confused. The benefit that we have is that this theory is so beautifully presented and reconciled for us by Maharaj Ji and made palatable to us by Swami Ji. So we don't have to go far and have a wild goose chase. It's all sorted out, reconciled for us. So we'll go really deep into this topic because this is a topic that we spend our entire lifetime just not knowing and speculating about it. Right? Whatever we have heard, and that's about it. So we'll try to put it in a nice structured discussion and go really deep into this topic the whole of next week, which would start from Sunday evening and Monday morning from India. Okay, you can make note of that. We don't have a class tomorrow. We will start from Monday to, it will be Sunday evening instead of Monday evening. We go from Monday to Thursday here at US time, and we go from Monday to Friday. That would be India time. Okay. Hope it works for most, if not all. At least I haven't heard, at least barring a couple of people for whom it may not work, but then for most it'll work. So we'll go with that. All right. So we will give about another 2 or 3 minutes for everybody to record in responses. I would encourage everybody, at least we should have around 80% participation, 80-90%. So please do take an opportunity to respond to these questions, and I will go quickly over these questions before we get into how do we program our subconscious. That's our topic for discussion today. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Oops, not this. What happened? Okay, not this. Okay, I shouldn't be giving you the answers. Maybe that slide is let me stop share for a bit, correct something, and then get back.
In the meantime, can I announce something?
Sure. Go ahead, Rahul. You can make the announcements in the meantime.
Yeah, I think before the announcement, there is an interesting comment which is applicable for everyone in the class by Ashutosh Ji on the nursing Dev Avatar thing. प्रहलाद वर मांगा गोविंद राधे मांगने की मेरी कामना मिटा दे.
Beautiful, very true. So that was the beautiful one, right? God asked, I'm very happy with you, Prahlad. And Prahlad was zapped. Okay. And he said, ask for a boon. And he didn't know what to ask. But then Prahlad said, because you are asking me to ask, it is an order. So I have to ask. And then he say, I may ask if that I may ask that I may not ask anything. Okay, that's what he ended up asking. So that is the bhakti, parikashta bhakti. Such a nice boon he asked. See, it's now somebody would say God presents you with a blank check. What kind of a boon it is? No, what kind of a well, how did you utilize that blank check from God? So when you keep God in debt, you can only imagine what you can get. Okay, it's very simple. He kept God in debt. Now, if God is in debt, right, you don't need anything else. But I don't think he did it with that purpose. But it requires a lot of what you call spiritual strength and a lot of devotional power to be asking like that, right? Because our mind, it can ask for anything. We will go through a story today, by the way, because we are talking about mind. We'll go through a story to see how our mind can work to drive home the point of what we are going to discuss today. Okay, I think we give about 10 minutes for recitation. So we are already past that 10 minutes. If you need a little bit more time, just let me know. But otherwise, we'll get started with our discussion. We'll start going through we have about 60 plus participation. I think, Rahul, let's give a countdown maybe of last 30 seconds, and then we can end the poll and start the discussion on the topic, the questions that you have posed. Okay. We still have people joining in, so, but we will wrap up the poll and then talk about it if, okay. All right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we can end the poll. Okay, so let's get started. So the first question that was posed is, my audio is okay, right? Audio would.
Yes, it is loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay. Loud, clear, and slow. All three needs to happen. Okay, the first one is we have to faithfully follow the teachings. So Rahul creates it very diligently every week. And let's check it out. What are the questions and how are the responses looking this week? We have to faithfully follow the teachings of Shri Krishna and gradually move from karam dash to karam dash. Somebody has said we have to move from karam bhog to karam yog, majority says. Second said karam yog to karam sannyas. Karam bhog to karam sannyas. Karam sannyas to karam yog. So split verdict, which always makes it exciting, right? More controversy, the better it is. So the right answer is karam bhog to karam yog, which majority of you have gotten it right. So we think we are doing karam yog, but actually we are doing karam bhog. Karam yog means you have to do it for the pleasure of God or offer the fruits to God or doing it with a consciousness that, I'm not the doer. God is giving me the power to get it done. So if we are not doing it and if we are doing it for our own pleasure, for our own sensory gratification, it is called bhog. So we are doing karam bhog right now and we need to gradually transition towards karam yoga. So whoever got it karam bhog to karam yoga is right. Karam yoga to karam sannyas, not necessarily. It's not a sequential process where you first do karam yoga and then go to karam sannyas. No, not necessarily. So right now, what God says is for 99% of the population, karam yoga is the recommended practice. Okay, for some who have already developed enough dispassion from this world, karam sannyas might be the way. But idea is not that okay, you do karam yoga and go to karam sannyas. Both are parallel tracks. The key is to move from bhog to yoga. That is the key. Hopefully that makes sense. The next one is there is a quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. That's a nice one. Okay, I need to stop share and put my. Give me a sec. Oh, share results. Give me a sec. I need to share my screen to show you what we are discussing right now. So quid pro quo means you do this for me and I'll do it for you. Okay, so that kind of a relationship, give and take between guru and disciple. Some people said true, somebody said false, some said maybe. Okay, so that's interesting. Again, a split verdict. So those of you who said true is actually not true. Okay, the false is the correct answer. So let me refresh your memory in case you have forgotten. I hope you're able to see my screen. So this is how it goes. Okay, it's not quid pro quo. Okay, maybe I should know. Basically, Guru is saying that you need to help me help you. It's not quid pro quo. Guru and God are causelessly merciful. They don't need a reason for that. However, Guru's grace has to follow a principle. You align to the principle, the teachings, you increase your Sharanagat bhav, and then he graces you accordingly. It's not like you do this for me, then I'll do it. Even when you do seva of Guru, it is basically means that okay, free up my hand so that I can give you grace. He cannot whimsically distribute it. If that was the case, God would distribute it whimsically to everybody and everybody would become godlike. That doesn't work that way. There's a principle, there's a rule that he has to follow, and Guru enables us to do that. So, in other words, I'll tell you this thing, it's a very powerful thing. When Guru has to grace you, special grace you, he'll give you seva. Why? Because now you are freeing up Guru's hands. You do seva, and his hands are freeing up all the grace that he can give you. So it's not quid pro quo. It's like help me help you. Okay, so that was the key principle. So good question, Rahul, that you brought up. Now, God's grace comes via Guru. So is it multiple choice question? This is an interesting one. Providing us more of what we need to progress materially. Is this a grace? Destroying things that are not conclusive. Okay, it is conducive actually, but yeah, it's a bit of a typo. For our spiritual growth. Third one is preserving what we had. We need to progress materially and fighting with our bad sanskars or prarabdha. Trajectory of our life is okay. So the answer is everybody has picked up different options. Those of you who have picked up all four are right. Okay, so grace means, right, Rahul? Yogakshem. Yogakshem means God does yogakshem. That means, first of all, the grace flows in. So if you look at it, these are the things. So basically, when God does the yogakshem, Guru does the yogakshem, that means three things happen. First, he will provide for what you have and you need on this path, more of it. So if you have X and you need X to progress on this path. Let's say, for example, you have humility, right? If you have humility, or let's say you have, that ability to let go. So then Guru will add to that, give you more of it because it is required for your spirituality. That's the first thing that will happen. Second thing, what he does is he will provide for what you lack. Let's say, for example, you are struggling with your anger management. Okay. But when you start exercising Sharanagat Bhav, aligning to the principles and really praying out that I'm working on it, and he sees that sincerity and the no and your intention, then he will start working on you and start reducing that proportion to how much you are surrendered and much more. That is the second thing that will happen. Third thing, what he does is he will destroy what you have and what you don't need. Right? There is a friend of yours or some relative who will gossip around with you, or will call you for those parties which you have said, oh my god, I don't. He will destroy it. How will he destroy it? Two things can happen. They lose interest in you, or you will lose interest in them. It just happens. Okay, a lot of you can experience that, and you will experience it. Okay, mark my words on that. So he does that as well. So all three things happen, and that is how the grace is. It is called Yoga Kshem Vyamyaham, Anarth Nivritti, by doing Anarth Nivritti as well. Yes, Shriramya and Sandhya, I see your hands. Any questions? It's an interesting topic. Rahul has picked up some very nice questions today. Yes, please.
Radhe
Yes,
Rajesh, Parmeji.
Radhe Radhe. In the poll, right, the first option it is giving provide more of what you want materially. That's why I didn't select that.
Oh,
It,
providing us, yeah, materially, that is not correct. Okay, sorry, my bad. I didn't read that materially. It would be provide for what you need spiritually. Okay, materially not. That's not the
uh,
right one. So maybe it's a trick question that was there. So yeah, materially not there. In fact, one of the signs of a true guru is they will never engage you materially. They will not say, I'll put hand on you and bingo, you will get the job, you'll get married and all that stuff. They will not engage you. Why? Because you ask Guruji, why didn't you marry yourself or didn't do job yourself? Or they'll say, because it material things are poison for us. That's why I've given up. Then why would you give us poison? Very logical question, right? So a true guru will not engage you materially. They know that they cannot give their disciple for something which is poison for them and keeping them indulging in the worldly activities. So materially is not correct. So I think that was a bit of a trick question, but yes, good catch. Yes, Sandhya?
There is another trick in the question. It says incorrect ones. So I guess first and third are the ones which are incorrect.
Okay, incorrect ones. Good. Okay, I'm not reading it
I
properly.
think there is
Maybe
a
I.
typo in that, yeah, because what
Okay,
I
incorrect
had
ones.
thought, yeah, I mean, the answer should be actually the second one and the fourth one. And I did type correct ones, probably, yeah, I think there was some mistake in that. So I
Got it.
apologize.
No worries.
Yeah.
Either way, it became a trick question, so you got it right. Materially is not right. Is there any other one as well here?
No.
Destroy things which are not conclusive. Okay, that is God.
First
Of
and
course, it
third.
does that. First,
Hmm.
preserving what we have, and that we need to materially. Wherever we have materially, that is wrong. True Guru will never engage you materially. Okay, that's the first thing because it is poison for us, and that is what is holding us back in this world. So why would True Guru give you more of that? Right? That is not grace. In fact, it may not appeal to our ears. Guru, God, when he starts gracing us, he does not start giving us more of sukh, sampatti, dhan, and all that stuff. He starts taking that away. But he reserves his best test for the strongest devotees, not for everybody. Now, that doesn't mean you freak out, okay, I'm not going to become devotee, okay? That's not the case. He gives you strength as well. But God's kripa is to start reducing your world, not increasing, giving you incentive to keep on increasing it. That is how it works. Okay, good catch. A lot of good catches. I'm myself not able to read questions properly. So, okay, the fourth one is trajectory of our life is determined by the dash we hold in our intellect. Knowledge, beliefs, pride, all of the above. Okay, somebody said pride. Okay, sorry to disappoint you. That's not right. So, our beliefs, it's basically held by trajectory of our life is held by the belief system. Of course, knowledge is what dictates it at some level, right? So it's belief, and belief are formed by our knowledge, right? The value system and all that stuff. So they're all incorrect beliefs is something which is most ruining for us. So knowledge beliefs would be correct. And then if you said pride, and that is not correct. Pride is not something that determines the, pride can bring about a downfall. We know that. So yes, Tanmay, you wanted to ask something, or let me cover the last one. Okay, we only have 4 questions. Tanmay, you wanted to add something? So good, thank you for those of you who were able to participate. And if there's any question, we can talk. And otherwise, we'll get started with the next topic that we
Yes,
have. Radhe Radhe Tanmay, your voice is breaking. It's very muffled. You may want to fix your audio or rejoin.
Am I audible? Am I
Yes, now it's
audible?
better.
Now
Yes.
it is better.
Okay. Thank you so much for letting me speak. Nitinji, my question is regarding that protection chakra, the Suraksha chakra. So even if we are at a very distant place geographically, even though we are connected digitally, how do we perceive it? Like, what is the meaning of this Suraksha chakra?
Okay, so the GPS, basically the GPS, right? Regardless of which remote location we are in, the chakra of Guru, it can find you. It doesn't need, satellite or anything of that sort, whichever area we are in. So Suraksha chakra doesn't mean that you go fight on a border and it will save you from the bullet. It means
Yes, yes.
Guru is serving you in ways you won't know. And that Suraksha chakra could be as subtle as fighting your bad sanskars, or maybe even your prarabdha at times,
Yes.
provided you
How
are
do
on
we
the
confirm
path.
it?
Sorry.
How do we confirm it? Like, Nitinji, how do we confirm it?
Confirmation is with
It's like
realization and with your
constantly.
experience. See, when this question itself will quieten down, that means you've gotten the confirmation, right? Now, if I tell you I'm feeling very hungry, you will say, how can I confirm it? How can I confirm it? I feel it. If you tell me how thirsty are you, how can I confirm it? You feel it. It's a matter of
So you,
realization. When you are on this
uh,
path, there will be enough
so we
indications
become
for you.
comfort. Is it like we become comfort? We become comfort like wherever he's situated or God is situated. We become comfort. We are detaching our mind from the world and we are becoming comfort in our state. Is it that?
Not comfort. I think we can have an offline discussion because we have enough stuff to cover today. So maybe this question is not helping
Okay, thank
um,
you.
move the discussion. So we can have an offline conversation. I would like to understand what you're asking for. Okay. So let's continue with what we have to discuss to respect everybody's time on what we wanted to discuss today. So based on our belief, our value system and, action, personality, everything. And we know that when we, depending upon what we attach our belief system to, that determines the trajectory of our life. Some people think money is what gives us happiness, so every action that they put is chasing money. Some people thinking having travel and experience, that is how their life shapes. Some people indulge in vanity because they think looking good is, be all and end all of everything. So really our belief system, it determines the trajectory of our life, because all of us value something based on what we think is important for us, and that is how we keep on taking actions and decisions in our day-to-day life. So that was that question. With that said, we spoke about this yesterday about subconscious is what we are talking about, which is kind of a bag or the store or the memory chip which God has, which is a bottomless pit. Okay, it is bottomless well. There is no limit to how much it can store across multiple lifetimes. It keeps on storing it. So the responsibility of greatness lies on each thought that we harbor. I think Churchill had said that. So every thought that you are putting in your mind is actually going to have a implication: immediate, near term, medium term, or long term. Nothing goes, there's a price tag to everything. That includes our thought as well. Okay, there are no free lunches where okay, it's okay, thought came and out. Yes, if you reject it and if you start inculcating that art, that is why spirituality is important. But everything that you're thinking, it has an impact. So we got to be very, very careful about what we are letting in our mind, right? What we put in our stomach, we are careful. We don't put every random thing. Similarly, what we put in our mind, we got to be very careful. Okay, and keep on working on improving the quality of our mind. Now, this concept, I lead a virtuous life, I do not harm anyone, nor do I steal anything, but I do not believe in worshiping God, nor do I believe in Him. Am I doing anything wrong? Right? Spoke about this concept. This question basically means such people may not be doing anything wrong in eyes of humans, but they are thieves in the eyes of God. So if we begin looking upon the gifts of nature, Basically, this is the Karam Bhog part of it I was talking about. The very first question was there. Some people give this argument, I lead a virtuous life. Is there anybody who thinks they're not virtuous? Not everybody carries that certificate, right? Then they say, I don't harm anyone, nor do I steal anything, but I don't believe in worshipping God. So what wrong am I doing here? You're not doing anything wrong, but the problem is you're not doing anything perfectly right either. Okay, and that is why we keep on repeating here. For you to become truly good, you have to purify yourself. The buck stops at you, and then the only way to purify yourself is to bring God into the mix. You cannot reject it. You can love him, hate him, but you can't ignore him. Okay, that's essentially what it is. If you love him, you'll find God. If you hate him, you'll still find God. But for mortals like us, it's not a good strategy to hate him, like Kans or Ravan or that, right? It's for those saints who are doing a Leela, they can hate God and still realize God. We can't do that. So point is, if we think this way, we are doing Karam Bhog even in that situation. We are not really doing Karam Yog in that case. Okay. So that's why probably I included this. Now, let's get into the meaty discussion. All right. What did I do? Okay, now the story time. So this guy is going through a desert. So when somebody goes through a desert, right, this is what happens, very thirsty and tired. Right. So this is the desert if you want to see. Now, when he's thirsty and tired, he thinks of something. He thinks, you know what? I wish there was an oasis. And bingo, oasis comes along. He thought an oasis came along, right? Maybe he was inside down with the Kalpvriksh because he's very thirsty. Of course, he can get water. Then he thinks, our mind is mind, of course, right? It becomes greedy. He said, you know what? It would have been so nice if I had a nice bed here as well. Bed, he thought. And here you go. Eureka, bed also came. Right? He thought of an oasis came. He thought of I hope you're able to see the bed. Okay, it's a very cozy bed. Then he thought of bed also came. And then guess what? He said, whatever I'm thinking is turning true. What if a tiger comes and eats me? And what happens? The tiger comes and eats him. So this is what happens. So what is the moral of the story here? Anybody? What's the moral of the story? Yes, Shamji.
Shamji.
Don't think too much. No, just kidding. Think
No,
wisely,
that is
act smartly. Always think good things and thank God.
that's true. Let's hear maybe a couple of more and then I'll move the discussion forward then. See, this happens. Okay. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, thought by thought we forge our destiny. So basically,
True.
yeah, I mean,
This
this
is also
person
true.
is inviting situations by thinking about them. So
True, very true. Preeti ji, you wanted to add something? Please go ahead. Let's take a couple of, it's pretty interesting what happened to this guy. The more I hear about and think about the story, the more I, feel
Yes,
some kind of a. All right, yes, Preeti ji, go ahead, please.
yeah. So it is like whatever you say, he's going to say tathastu to you. So be careful of your words. What you don't put anything randomly in your mouth. You just said at the same time, don't put anything randomly in your head also.
True, very true. All questions are right. I'll just add a little bit of color to that. Thank you, Preeti ji. Yes, Monica ji, you're turned on your video, so I'm calling the ones who are on video first.
Okay, Radha Radha everybody, Radha Radha Nitin ji. So Nitin ji, I had a following question also, but maybe I can take that later. Sorry, I can ask that later if you allow. I think it's basically you become what you think and you end up attract what you think, positive, negative attraction kinds. I'll ask the question.
Sure. We can come back to the question. Yeah. Law of attraction. Fair enough. Yes, Shramya, and then Rahul. We'll take two more quickly.
Yeah. Right. Maybe we are not ready for God's grace yet. If God graces us, we do. So we
all of it.
why is gracing me, why is not gracing me? So first we should keep ourselves ready.
True.
If tiger doesn't come and eat us.
Yes. Last one, Rahul.
Yeah, there are two comments in the chat. Manishji says, uncontrollable mind can lead to mischief. And Komalji says, sometimes you become your enemy.
Very true. Komalji, hold on to that thought. I'll come back to that. Yes, Rahul, you wanted to add something?
No, those are the two comments.
Okay. No, all of you are right. See, law of attraction is there, of course, and See, this world is also called a kalpa vriksha. When you make a sankalp, you end up achieving it, provided that sankalp is strong. And we don't know when Saraswati is sitting on our tongue. Okay, so be very careful about what you're thinking and wishing. Okay, we could, and more often than not, in fact, mostly we are asking for poison only. Anyways, the point here was a lot of things that we can derive from this particular story. But the key thing that I want to drive through the story here is our mind is like this, random. What thought it will generate, we can't trust it. Okay, what kind of a thing? He's in perfect comfort, and all of a sudden he's thinking, what a tiger comes and devours him. At the end of the story, we can't trust our mind. It can ask anything. It's very random. Okay, it can generate, unless we have tended to it, it can generate any thoughts. Absolutely no control over it. So that is why it's important how we train our subconscious and improve the quality of our mind so that it does not end up asking for tiger like it did here. Very, very important thing. So let's get started then on what we are going to discuss today. Now, there is interpersonal talk we spoke about in our corporate system. We talk about interpersonal talk. Here we are going to talk about intrapersonal talk. Intrapersonal talk, I briefly introduced it yesterday. It's a talk that
I think there is an internet issue, probably on Nitinji's end.
You want to make announcements in the meanwhile?
Yes. So the first thing I wanted to tell about the life transformation programs of Swamiji. Right now he's in Seattle. I think the program is ending tomorrow. But after that, he will be visiting Sunnyvale from May 6 to May 14, followed by Tempe in Arizona, May 15 to May 18th, and then finally LA, May 19 to 25. And after that, we will be having the West Coast retreat with Swamiji, which is from May 27 to May 29th. I will be putting all those links in the chat shortly. And the good thing about retreat is that we can join it from the comfort of our home. The online registration has not yet started, but it should be there in a week or so once the retreat schedule is there. And apart from that, please check out that we have changed the timings. So our next class will be on Sunday, that is Sunday for United States and India, and Monday for India. And apart from that, the important thing is Sunday satsang, which we have weekly live from RKT Dallas. And that happens from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Sorry, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. CST time. So I will be putting all those links in the chat. Okay, Nitinji is not here. No, I think still the internet issues there. Is there anything else, Sanjay, you wanted to add for some of the upcoming events in the temple for this weekend?
Yeah, you talked about Sunday satsang. Mainly that is it. In the meanwhile, I could share the.
Yeah, if you want to share some of the latest reels which our team has produced, maybe that can be.
Oh, actually, there is this event. Sorry to say, there is RKT in the park, a new event that is going to be launched. So this Saturday. So for the first time, we will be having an open satsang here in Allen area in the park where we'll have yoga, kirtan, fun-filled events, dance. So it is going to be really, really exciting. And whoever is around in person, Chamji, you can also plan to join later on whenever possible. But this is going to be real fun. So everybody should, whoever is around locally here in Dallas should definitely consider attending it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend it, but yeah, Monica ji, you will be like the torch bearer, okay? Awesome. So I think Rahul ji, we can share those details as well in the chat.
Okay, yeah. And I think Kumar ji has some coming, which, yeah, Radhe Kumar ji.
Jai Shri Ram. So I just wanted to share a story. So there used to be a restaurant owner a long time back, and he used to be very haughty and ego-filled person. He used to make the best food in town, so people used to throng to his restaurant, and he will tell people what to eat. You cannot order from him, so he will tell people what to eat. And so he was very popular, and he was also the chef and cashier, everything all in one. And of course, he had people working for him. So, and he used to be disdainful of all the beggars, and he'll drive them out with the broomstick. That was how he used to be, very ego-filled guy. So once what happened was a person like a beggar, tattered clothes, entered his hotel, and he got very upset because they are not allowed inside his hotel. And then he said, "Who are you? Just get out." He said, "Can I have something? Do you have anything?" He says, "What I have is," this guy had a lot of long hair and all those things. He said, "All I have is hair. Take it and go." And then drove him out. That guy went away. Then he started serving people. And when he started serving people, from ladles of sambar and all those things, came lots of hair. Just hair fell on people's plates. And he was like dumbfounded. Like he went and threw all that bucket of sambar. He got another bucket. Once again, he's pouring lots of hair from it. So it took some time for him to realize it. Then he closed the restaurant, ran behind this person. And then this person was near some kind of a dustbin trying to eat something. So he fell at his feet. This guy was a realized person. He didn't know that, right? He thought he was a beggar. So he fell at his feet. He carried him, not took him, carried him to his restaurant and fed him, bathed him and all that stuff. And then he asked for his forgiveness. And it seems then, of course, it stopped. So just wanted to share this nice story.
Thank you, Kumarji, for sharing this interesting story. And I think Nitinji is back.
Yes, sorry about that. I got my tiger hair, got devoured. Until now, I'm back. So my hotspot, I don't know what happened. It stopped working in between. Maybe I've reached the limit. I don't know what happened, but I hope you're able to see me. It's not going to be ideal, but I'm going to continue to talk because I have the presentation in front of me, but I can't share it with you, but I'm going to continue to talk. So we spoke about the chatter, okay? Now the chatter that is there, it continues within us. It's important to acknowledge and understand that chatter that goes in our head all the times. And that chatter happens because that is called self-talk. So like we have interpersonal communication, which is of utmost importance in a corporate setup, in our personal relationships, and just communicating in general with people. We have an intra communication also that we talk to ourselves, which is of paramount importance. And that is the one which conditions our subconscious. It's like a director who's telling, how it should be done in a movie, or a commentator talking about cricket. That kind of a talk is continuing inside us. And we are not conscious about it. And it could be past, present, future, anything. This should happen. I hope this happens. Oh, what if this doesn't happen? Or why did this happen? I'm good for nothing. I'm a failure. My life is a mess. Or like Amir Khan did, all is well, right? All that chatter continues. And sports people, they do understand the power of this chatter that goes on inside us, and they harness it. Harness means they put a control to it so that it is helpful for them. Helpful for them in the way that if you look at some of the tennis players, they say, come on, right? Or they say they silently, they are reiterating that everything is fine. Stay calm, focus on the point, focus on the point. That self-talk is continuing when people play. I played tennis, I used to do that. I didn't understand this, the self-talk, but you keep on training your mind around that. And this is very, very important. And that is where, if you talk about self-talk, I'll give you some punchlines. What I would do is, today was not ideal, but in the next session, I'll play the slide so that you can take it, stick it on your walls. Okay. It's like, I don't know if it will work. It will going to be ideal here, but let me share my screen. No, it will not look like, never mind. So it's like, when you're talking to yourself, there are few things that you can try. It's like, I have infinite potential for growth. It is a good self-affirmation. The universe has a great plan for me. God's grace is upon me. I'll surely succeed. If I'm protected by my divine father, there's nothing to fear. There's abundance in universe, and I'll have enough. One part that troubles us most is the fact that we think that if somebody else is getting something, I will not get it. Scarcity mindset. It is not enough for everybody. Brahmaji has created enough for everyone. God has created enough for everyone. So when we have that abundance mindset, we simply work. We are fighting our own race. We are not having a rat race or competing with anybody, right? We don't compare with others. It is said comparison is the thief of happiness. The moment you start comparing with others, unhappiness will come. But when you're running your own race, unhappiness will not come. Right? That monkey experiment was carried out. The monkeys, they were being fed cucumbers, and they were happily having cucumbers, two monkeys, until one of the monkeys was given grape. The moment this monkey saw the other one is getting grape, he threw the cucumber back at the person, right, who was giving it. So what happened? He was happy. But the moment we see at others and start comparing, all these things start to happen. Right? My body is in good health. It is remembered wellness and remembered sickness also. If you keep on telling yourself you're not well, you're not well, you're not well, you're not be well. It's just a matter of time before your body will fall prey to it. So there was a story of, I'll bring in that story of a guy who was treated with leukemia. Doctors gave him less than a year to live. Okay. And he was given less than a year. And this guy, he said, okay, I always wanted to write. So let me utilize this time to do some writing. And he wrote a book. So much so that he wrote a couple of more books during that time period. And then he went on to write 19 more books. And he went on to live for 20 more years. Right? Medical science would say it is a living miracle. Happened. How did it happen? He found a purpose in life. And when you find a purpose in life, you automatically have longevity. Have you seen people who have a strong purpose in life, who have positive affirmations because they look out for the next thing that they're going to do? They go on to live for a long time. Look, big criminals. Somebody has put in a big, what do you call that, knife in their stomach, turned it also, but they go on to live. Why? Because they have a purpose. I have to take revenge after getting out. Until they get revenge, they will continue to live. Strong purpose. You look at people like Warren Buffett, he has McDonald's and Coke, and he's still living healthy life. Look at Shah Rukh Khan, 57, sense of purpose, still building muscles and doing all that stuff. So point is, when you have a strong purpose, you can surmount a lot of things around it. But when we don't have it, we lack passion, we have a negative affirmations to our mind, doesn't help. Every cell in my body is sparkling with joy and bliss. Okay, this is another confirmation. I will focus on the effort without worrying about the result. It is a very strong. You are directly subscribing to Karam Yoga when you do that. Whatever happens will be for the good, right? Acceptance, prasada buddhi. I can do it. I will succeed. My goal is almost achieved. My work is very important. I'm trying to please God through it. Most of the people have the complaints through their work. Okay, my work is this dream job. I'm not this. Okay, I don't love what I do. It's an opportunity basically you can please God and then love what you do until you do what you love. It's very simple, right? And that perfect work kind of a thing is more again a mindset thing. And I've received so much from God. The sense of gratitude, I must give it back through devotion. So these are some of the mindsets or the self-talks we can imbibe that can help us really improve our subconscious as well. If you do negative talk, you know where it can lead us, right? In fact, there is something called negative gratitude also. Anybody knows what is negative gratitude? Negative gratitude, you find negative situations and have gratitude for them. I have to take a bitter pill, but I'm thankful to, for that because it makes me well. Pills could be bitter, right? Not sugar coated. Or I have a mess to clean up in my house, but I'm thankful to God because at least that means I have a family and friends, right? I'm thankful to my boss who's very irritating, but no, I'm thankful. No, basically my boss is irritating, but I'm thankful to God. That means at least have a job, right? I'm thankful that I pay taxes. That means I'm earning. So negative gratitude sequence also you can start in your mind. It's just about positive reframing of that part. And these are the things, the self-talk, that the quality of that self-talk when we are able to improve, our mindset will start changing. Everything, it's like you will think the whole universe is benevolent. People think it's malevolent, everything is not working out, and I'm that victim mindset and all. So that is where the power of self-talk is very, very important. And when we do that, it is going to train our mind. It will make it a fertile ground for devotion, fill our heart with positivity and gratitude, which is what God likes. Right? It wants a heart. You're creating space for God. You're creating a clean, fertile environment for devotion to sprout and grow. So get rid of that mindset. It's important to first understand our self-talk. What are we talking to ourselves throughout the day? And then start consciously working on it through witness consciousness and by empowering it with good knowledge or indulging your mind in things which are purifying. Could be watching a video, could be taking a walk, could be doing something creative, doing sadhana, chanting and remembering God's name, doing seva. Seva is the best thing I would say. Anything, but find it. Because if you're going to let your mind run wild, it will fill it up with negativity, worries, anxieties, past, future, this, that, and there's no end to it. Okay. So that is what we do have an ability to train our subconscious. And this is an important tool that we should really have a clear game plan to work on it. Because if we are not working on it, we are not doing ourselves a big favor around it. So that's what I wanted to cover. Not ideal, but I hope you got the point. I'll share the slides with you so that you can note down some of these and put it on your paper, whatever works for you, but you could come up with your own as well, where you are positively reframing the same situation. Okay, as opposed to becoming negative. Okay, everything in my life is like that. Why does it happen to me? And if some test is repeating for you, that is a sure shot signal. You have to come out of that situation with the positivity and hope, because that test will keep on repeating for you till you conquer it. And something that bothers you is a lesson for you anyways. So positive reframing and improving our self-talk is the key, or the key topic for today that I wanted to discuss. Any questions on that?
Yeah, we have few hands raised, so.
Sure.
Radhe Dasohamji.
Yes, Dasohamji, sorry I couldn't take your question yesterday. I think Priya ji answered very beautifully the question that you had asked. I think that um, dance was not so popular, I think, at the time of Buddha. It was not formally adopted as one of the things that can be harnessed on the path of spirituality. If you look at it, most of the dance forms are inspired by devotion to God. Bharatnatyam, right, Kathakali and all, they are all inspired from devotion to God. And some of the biggest architectural things that have happened in this world, they've been inspired by devotion to God only. So when we do things for the service of God, automatically we manifest our bestest ability. Okay, there's a story for that. Akbar, he took his Tansen. He said, you sing well. I would like to know who your guru is. So he took his to his guru. And then when he took his to his guru, I think probably Ravidas, maybe I'm getting it wrong. He would know Rag Malhar and stuff like that, where he could made cloud seed. Again, there are technologies, silver iodide you put and you seed the clouds. He would do that and it would rain. That level of music power that he had. Anyways, so he sang, he did not sing, and they cannot ask his guru to sing. Though Tansen started singing something deliberately, he did it wrong. And when he started singing, Akbar was blown away. He said, Tansen, why can't you sing like your Guruji does? Tansen gave a very classic reply. He said, that's because I sing for the Emperor of India right now, and he sings for the Emperor of the world. I cannot match him. So when we do things for God, automatically our best abilities would come, right? So that is the motivation for Karam Yoga. Okay. Any questions on what we have discussed? Yes, Dasu Hamji, sorry. Again, I stole your question. Please go ahead and ask. So dance form and then it just, yeah, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Nitinji and Radhe
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 Radhe.
everyone. Sorry, today my question is why did Buddha not start singing?
Okay, I think you're going to do a PhD or basically a dissertation on Buddha now. Why did not he? Okay, let me give you a brief context on Buddha so that you can understand. Because tomorrow you will ask then, why did he not focus too much on singing, dancing? What else is there? Writing, right? Maybe. So Buddha, see, when these great personalities descend, they come for a purpose, and he came immediately when after not after, during the times when Vedas were being misconstrued. The sacrificial ritual was prevalent in India at that time. People will sacrifice, all the animals, and Vedas were being distorted by Brahmins, and they became the middlemen to go-to person. Like Jews took control of the economy during World War II, before World War II, and Hitler got frustrated with that. People were getting frustrated with Brahmanwad because they became the go-to person. So a lot of kurutis or bad things started happening under the pretext of Vedas or the teachings of Vedas. So God said, all right, let me send Buddha and wipe the slate clean. So all the things he said, forget about Vedas. Let's start from scratch. Okay, you work with your consciousness alone. So he gave a very simplified path around the time where people were getting hung up in rituals, and that too not proper rituals. So he simplified it and said, just work on your consciousness, because God knows in due course of time, he's going to send more sages who are going to establish dance also, singing also, writing also, and other things also. At that time, Buddha said, let's keep it vanilla. Butterscotch, chocolate, strawberry, all that can wait. Right? Let's reestablish this message so that people get back into the fold of spirituality. And then Shankaracharya came, he reestablished Vedas. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya came, he brought in the duality aspect, the Dvait aspect of God as well. So there's a process how God follows when the message gets distorted. So Buddha's job was not to tell everything. Okay, how all you can do devotion, you can do singing, you can do dancing, Hanuman Paddhati. He said, okay, let's keep it simple, and other sages will take care of it after me. So that is why he limited that message, which was in accordance with that time, people, situation. I hope I answered you, Sumesh.
Yeah, I think that would have helped. We can move on
Okay.
to Sandhya ji. Radhe Radhe, Sandhya
Yes,
ji.
Sandhya.
Actually, I wanted to share the Seva.
By the way,
code.
one more thing I wanted to say, if Sunil ji, if you are around and you can, maybe one of our co-hosts, you can share your number. That will be very helpful, because one of the participants, she really wants to talk to you to clarify some of the doubts. She really likes what you talk about, especially, some of the concepts that you share. And if you don't mind, if you sharing, I'm not saying share it with everyone, maybe one of our co-hosts, we would share it with her, and then you can help her out with some of the doubts that she has. Okay, let's move on now.
Yeah.
I was saying, Nitinji, should I share the Seva scoreboard results?
Oh, yes, please go ahead. Sure, go ahead. By the way, we are going to, the Seva teams we have, for the benefit of new participants, we have 4 Seva teams. S stands for the selfless team, E stands for the enthusiastic team, V Vinamra team, and A stands for Ananya team. And they have been doing some fantastic job. And Shri Ramya, our techie, has come up with a beautiful dashboard. I would let you talk about it, Sandhya, and then add some more color to it as well.
Yes, so I guess all of you can see this. This is a wonderful real-time um, tableau that has been prepared by Sri Ramya ji, where as we keep updating our scores, these bars will keep moving up and down, and the people's rank will keep changing. So this is wonderful representation. And as you can see, we have 4 teams, 4 colors over here. And there are different Seva activities that we are all engaged in, like liking different posts on our social media, sharing, commenting on them, being active on the community portal, keeping our video on during the class, content creation for our social media, and then we have an overall score. So in terms of overall score, everybody can see Ananya team is like leading by a huge margin. And as you can see, that's coming from here. So Anita ji, cheers to her. She shares at the speed of, I guess, wind or something. I don't know. So yes, and I think due to the interest of time, I will not probably elaborate more on everything. But you can see, like, for example, likes, Deyasini is leading, shares, Anita ji comments, Vandana ji. So different people representing different teams are all active. And we can have more discussion on this in some other session, I guess, Nitinji, right? I mean,
Sure. Yes, yes. And thank you, everybody who's turning on their video. I see Surinder ji with his video on Komal ji. Thank you for turning on your video. It always helps seeing faces and your engagement. And I want to congratulate everybody who has taken on the seva and doing it so with so much of fervor and spirit. And encourage everybody to join one of our teams. We keep it a little competitive, but the amount of work that is going on behind the scenes is commendable. And these are very fulfilling sevas where whatever we have received in terms of knowledge, see, it is said the falibhoot, there is a word in Hindi, where it fructifies what you learn when you start helping spreading it out. That knowledge, God makes it a realization bit by bit, it starts happening. And this is a good way to give back what we have learned by engaging in a little bit of seva, could be content creation, like, share, whatever comfortable time you have. And it's a good way to make that knowledge a realization for ourselves and earn some spiritual commission along the way. Okay. So check it out. We have wonderful 4 teams, and over time we are going to have our captains come up, talk about what is working for them, and the experience realizations around it to motivate others as well. But let's not lose steam on it. It's easy to let it fritter away and continue progressing as best as we can, because it's a huge opportunity, I would say. Without any pressure, let's make it a joyful route as best we can do, with consistency. I think that will be pretty awesome. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add, or anybody? Monica
Yes,
ji, any reflections on being a very enthusiastic captain? Rahul, you wanted to say something, and then we can maybe take a couple of people who can talk about it.
we have just
And
2 minutes.
Shamji, you need to prepare your a little bit speech around this as well. So I will give you 2 minutes for that. Yes.
I was just saying that we will keep sharing this every week now because we have this wonderful representation ready and it will just in real time get updated. So thanks again to
Sure.
Shubhamya ji. Great job. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job, Shri Ramya. Loved it. I think it's a great way to track it, and thank you for coming up with this beautiful Tableau report. Yes, Rahul, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I mean, can I ask a question which came in the chat if we have
Sure,
some?
sure.
There is a question from iPhone G. How to reframe the self-talk and prevent thinking of Rasgulla and Gulab Jamun. Intellect says sugar is bad, but milk is good. It soothes stomach.
Sugar is bad, milk is good. Yeah, so milk is good, right? Who said it's not good? So, but how to resist the temptation of Rasgulla and Jalebi, you're saying?
Yeah, Rasgulla, Jalebi, Gulab Jamun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. See, I don't know. You may have to check with Hema Malini ji. Okay, how she resists the temptation and has only one jalebi once in a year, and that too half of it. I think you need a strong why, and then when we have a strong why, it takes care of what and how. Right. So if you ask Virat Kohli, how do you resist the temptation of having butter paneer and all the things that are offered in a 5-star after a long hard game of cricket, and where you have already burnt maybe a calorie deficit of 4 to 5,000, and still you are able to resist that temptation? That means he has a very strong why. That it's not like occasional indulgence is okay. His mind says no. Austerity means austerity. It's needed for me, and I've seen my performance increase big time, and having that slight edge over others. So I will take that austerity. So we need a strong why for anything that we do. When we have a strong why, then we can receive that Rasgulla example, Gulab Jamun example that I gave. A guy who's hungry and dying to eat that Gulab Jamun, immediately he developed detachment to it the moment he came to know there's poison in it. So we need to just arm our intellect more closely to see what my future goals are. And if you want, how much I value my health and longevity to do seva and serve God and to grow spiritually or to stay fit or whatever reasons work for us, when we have a strong why, how and what will automatically follow.
Yeah,
And if it works for you, let me know as well. Okay. I'm not saying Rasgulla, but I have my own secret stash around it, laddus and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have some more hands in the.
Yeah, I need to share that framework as well. I'll probably share it on our next session. I always think and then it slips my mind. So Preeti Talati ji had asked that question. Yes, Preeti ji, you wanted to say something as well?
I don't think so. Preeti ji has raised her hand.
Okay.
We have Shilpa ji. So
Yes, Shilpa ji.
Yeah, Radhe Shilpa ji.
Radhe Radhe, everyone.
Radhe Radhe.
I completely agree with you, Nitinji. that's the strong why is very important. For the going back to the gulab jamuns and the rasgullas, someone also mentioned junk food the other day in studying. I cannot go on a diet. I love sweets and desserts, but the why, because I grew up doing fasts and I can do multiple fasts on consecutive days. So for me, the why is God, you know, whether it's Shivratri or Janmashtami or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever fast it is. I can do that for God, for me, the why, but I cannot do it for my health. But for me, the why is God. And I totally agree that the higher the why, the stronger the why, the easier it is. So I can do the fast, no water, no nothing, but it's hard for me to stay away from the extra gulab jamun on a non-fasting. But if I can only think of that, you know, that it's not for me, it's for God. On the same note, what I think is if Shivji can drink a bowl of poison for the entire world, why can I not just take this one gulab jamun for myself? For God to do something that big for the whole universe, this is me not doing this for my own health, which is a very selfish decision. But if I can't even do it for myself, then how am I going to expect to do seva for everybody else? So that's another thing I think of.
That's a very nice analogy you gave. Very true. Very nice. Were you joining us from Shilpaji? I think I've spoken to you previously as well, right? Is Shilpaji unmuted?
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, I got a cold as soon as I said I wanted to interpretate one of Swamiji's and Guruji's bhajans. So as soon as I get better, I'm going to recite.
Yes, now I remember.
bhajan.
You wanted to do it like Urvi did. And now I remember.
Yes,
So,
yes.
all right, we wait
and
for
I
it.
got
Let's do
sick
that.
right after that. Yeah, and my voice is still not there yet, but I know exactly the bhajan. I have its meaning, and I'm going to do that. Yes.
Please put in the feedback tracker if you're not filled it out already, all of you, and do
need
let me know. And we will do that once from next week. So we'll have a more leisure time, and when you are ready, just let me know. We can plan for it. So Urvi, you inspired Shilpaji to sing the way you do with her, and so I'm looking forward to it now.
Yes,
thank you so much. Wonderful, very nice. Yes.
We have Preeti ji.
Preeti ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, I think I get the why, but it doesn't stay strong in my mind. I mean, I go on so many times diet and then lose weight and then I bring it back and just eat whatever. And it just like it's subconscious programming, you know, that's there. And I've tried many things, but I'm still kind of struggling with my weight loss. And I'm growing spiritually a lot, and that's helping me. But sometimes little stress that's not that much strong. I still like unconsciously eat a lot of food, and it's still a struggle for me to, you know, let go of many habits. I'm being more and more aware of it, but you know, if you have any tips on that, that would be
okay. I'll share that framework for you if it works for you. There's a beautiful framework Swamiji has created. I'll bring it to the next class definitely on Sunday as a tool that you can do that. Secondly, look at your secret stash. What do you value a lot? Let me say, Preeti ji, every time, what do you indulge in? Basically, laddus. What is it? This particular thing. Tell me the name.
indulge in any food.
Okay. So
I
next time you
indulge in
think it is okay. Next time you think when you are eating it, right? Think that $1,000 from your bank account somebody has knocked off. Okay, you'll get a penalty of $1,000 every time. If you can simulate your mind, you just see your habit will automatically come in line. You know, there was a goat. Okay, Birbal Akbar story again. There was a goat, and somebody said, "Can you teach goat not to eat grass? Grass, you know, goat will eat grass." So he said, "Yeah, sure, we can teach it." I said, "Okay, let's do that." So took the goat to grass, and every time it will start eating, it will get a whack. Okay, and next time it started, it got a whack. Next time it got a whack until it got registered in goat's head that, you know what, this green thing that I eat, so I got Next, I'm going to eat it, I'm going to get a wax. So after that, it started refusing grass all by itself. So sometimes we need to give ourselves that reason internally. Of course, we can't do that, but let's say it's actually started happening. Just visualize every time you're eating, $1,000 are vanishing from your account. Every time you're indulging, okay, indulging, not feeding yourself. $1,000 is gone. After a while, you'll say, no, I can't take that. Okay, it's enough of
Yeah.
it. I would rather do something else. So we just need to give ourselves a strong why, and internal motivation we need to create around it, because our mind is very treacherous, right? Tricky. It will keep on tricking your intellect. Say, it's okay, go for it. Next time I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll do it. Next week I'll do it. It's just a matter of, so we got to find ways and triggers for our mind to be tame. Otherwise, it'll find its way around. That's what we've been talking about. But just imagine it starts happening. I'm telling you,
Okay.
everybody on this group will give up their secret stash if this starts happening. I'm telling you. You whack off $1,000 from their account and they'll say, you know what? We have figured out a way how to get over it. It's just that you attach it to something that you value, which can really, you will say, okay, oh my God, this is a real loss. I can't afford this. What we put in our body is also loss for us, but it's not immediate. And we are not able to see that, right? So we are able to take those risks in our life. If somebody would have liver cirrhosis, as soon as they take a drink, nobody would drink. If somebody would have diabetes, the moment they put a rasgulla, nobody will eat that. Because it's a
I know.
delayed thing and happening slowly, we say, mind says it's okay, take it out, and all that stuff happens. So, but there are ways to train yourself in these kind of things as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I
Thank
brought
you
in a
so
bit of a
much. I'm
perspective
looking
around it.
forward to more friends.
Or you can
Thank
you can start giving me $1,000 every time you indulge. Okay, I'll return it back. Okay, you can trust me on that. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's hear from others as well. Maybe a couple of more hands, and then we'll wrap up today's session. By the way, tomorrow's session is not on, and we start from Sunday evening on popular demand. Okay.
Sunday evening, which is India time morning, yes, Monday.
Monday morning, Sunday evening. Sunday evening US time, Monday morning India time. And I'm telling you, there's still going to be confusion for a while. Although I've told that. Okay, it'll take about a couple of days. Rahul will miss you though on Sunday. Okay, let's take a couple of hands.
Rupaji, please go ahead.
Yes, Rupaji, you want to tell us a story that is going to change our life forever. Okay, please go ahead.
No. And Radhe Radhe everyone. Actually, I just wanted to, I raised hand in between 2 times, but okay, because the topics are going on, I just lowered my hand. The thing is, first one is positivity, negativity, like how you said, like thinking positive in negative situations. I usually do like this because I learned it from my parents, like how to take the negativity, convert that negative situation into positive one. If, for example, if someone is sick and they're saying that they got sugar, in India we say we got sugar, than diabetes, that word is used. So if someone got diabetes, they keep saying that, oh, I got diabetes, and they think themselves that life is stopped for them, or I am completed now. So I keep saying to any elders or friends or people whom I come across, I keep saying that what is there actually? Okay, if diabetes has come, it has come. We cannot stop it, right? But just imagine that if you're taking medicine and it is working on your body, that is the greatest thing. By taking medicine, be healthy. I say that. And they say that, why are you saying? Because imagine some people who have some disease, whether it is diabetes or something, but medicines are not working on their body. You're better placed than them. I used to say, because to encourage them in that situation.
Yes. No, that's a good
I
way.
keep
Your
saying
positive reframing. I think you are reiterating the positive reframing. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, iPhone G, real quick. I think I see one iPhone. Thank you, Rupaji, for sharing that. Yes, iPhone G.
Yes, Nitinji, my name is Kirti. I don't know how to put my name on that Zoom settings, so that's why it shows up as iPhone. But
okay, where are you joining us from, Kirti ji?
I'm from Austin, Texas.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
good to hear that, Kirti. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, please. You had some question today.
Yes, Titiji, it was very interesting session, today's class. And I had a question on going back to this Rasgulla Gulab Jamun. Is it that Rasgulla is so bad that we have to always think that, hey, it is negative? So then comes the point where, okay, I tell myself that Rasgulla has milk, which is, good for me. Yes, it has sugar, but I don't have diabetes. So can I take that? Now, what happens is the question arises when I take more and I'm not stopping at a few. So that is where the issue starts.
That becomes indulgence at that point, right? You're falling into that greed cycle, and that is where you need to, where we need to draw a line. There was Ramakrishna Paramhans. No, I think there was. I forgot his name. There's a story. He had a very, secret stash of apples. So in order to conquer that, he kept an apple and see it rot in front of him and said, "Okay, I'm not going to have you." Because he would salivate at the very sight of the apple, and he put an apple in front of him, would walk day in and day out, look at it and let it rot in front of it. So those are some of the things that the sages and saints, they have employed to tame down their senses. So that self-discipline, I think we only have to do something about it. But if you're going to have rasgulla under the pretext that it is giving you milk, that's your own thing. You really have to think about it. Like one of my friends, he used to have a lot of tea, and he said, you know what, it has milk in it. Keep on devouring tea. So it's our mind. I'm telling you, mind is a very smart thing. It will give you enough reasons smartly. Do this, do that, but that's where you got to be careful around it. But yeah, good to hear from you, Kirtiji. We'll continue with this conversation. Last word from Shyamji before we wrap up today's session. Next week, we will start one. I'll be back, not traveling anymore. So we'll do it I'll be able to do it from the comfort of my home. We'll continue with our devotional segment and other things that we do. But yeah, let's have one more hand, and then Shyamji, please go ahead. How are you going to motivate your team, Shyamji? Tell me that, okay? And then Monica ji is going to give us a tip. Monica ji, you can prepare your speech. 2 more hands, and then we'll wrap up our session.
Radhe Radhe Monica ji, Radhe Radhe Din bhai, Radhe everybody. आज मेरे लिए बहुत ही खास दिन है भाई. आज मेरे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा दिन है क्योंकि आज मेरी शादी की से. तो आज हम लोगों ने अपने जीवन के साल साथ बिता रहे हैं. तो मैं आप सबके साथ शेयर करना चाहता था. तो
Many congratulations.
थैंक यू बोल दीजिए प्लीज. Thank you so much.
Happy anniversary, Nana ji, right? Nana ji.
Yeah.
Nana ji, if you're around, very happy anniversary to you, to Nana ji and Shyam ji. And if we were to say your happy anniversary, we all will say ha ha ha. Okay.
Thank you. I'll call Nana here. She's with me.
And H stands for happy, A stands for anniversary. Ha ha ha.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I see. I always
happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
nice.
you, Nitin.
I always tell myself I have this wonderful group, so I share my days with you, my birthdays, my anniversaries. I feel good.
Very nice.
I share myself with this group.
We feel privileged you think us, you consider us so special. And thank you so much, and a very happy anniversary to both of you, and many more years to come together. Okay, silver jubilee, golden jubilee, diamond jubilee, every jubilee.
Silver jubilee, we are coming to Dallas. That's next year, Nitin bhai.
Oh wow!
Come
we
on,
look forward to it. That was
that is his, that is kind of his dream. So I am trying to fulfill whatever he's wishing for. Like he wanted to learn guitar, tabla, now he's learning that. And now Dallas is something which is looking forward.
Wow, please do. See, you are like that person in the desert who's just desiring, and you are like that kalpa who's giving whatever he's asking for. So please.
No, because all the time he always keeps holding himself back, we know each other for last 30 years now. And all the time, he's like, holding himself back. So now I always tell him.
It took you 6 years to marry Nana ji. I'm very disappointed. Okay, because I've calculated quickly your silver jubilee 30-year knowing means 6 years we waited.
She took time. I was right day one. She took 6 years to decide to marry me. Other way around.
6 years.
गीता पढ़ने के बाद झूठ बोलता है सुबह सुबह वो भी.